when I look in the mirror, I know that I've done everything that I could. Like I've given everything. Just always tried everything. Always tried to find something more and be the best version of myself. Like sometimes it's good times, sometimes bad times, but for sure it's made me tougher. I actually remember saying myself, I'm the best in the world. Like I had that much confidence, like straight away, like I can do this. And then carried on. And the first race of the season, which was 2019 Melbourne, I won it by like 20 seconds. And that was just like almost like an outburst of energy and frustration from the year before. And that was actually a pretty cool moment. To get to this point, to get to Formula One, you had to win the junior categories. Well, before that you had to win in go-karts, the right races. You had to be competitive to, show to the outside world and potential sponsors, manager that you have the talent. And then in the junior categories, basically you have to win all the important series. Otherwise you have a slim chance of making it unless you come from super wealthy background, which I don't. So I had to prove myself with talent.
You talk about fear. Is it a factor for you?
In the car, never. Never. Like I've only felt uncomfortable, and I don't know if it's fear or only if I've lost the control of the car. If I'm just about to crash, let's say I've lost the back end of the car and I know that, okay, I'm going to that wall fast. That's uncomfortable, and that could maybe a bit of fear in there, like how much it can hurt. But while I'm in control, no fear at all, like a switch. I was like, come on, I've still got so much more I want to achieve in sport and I don't want to give up now. But it took a time. It's been a challenge. But what motivates me is the future, because I still have my goals. I know that there's always ups and downs, and the main thing for me is to remind myself what I still want out of the sport, and that's still get closer to the top, to eventually get back on the podium and even winning. So that is my motivation. When things are tough, I try to remind myself of those. It is hard work, but I accept the situation that's where we are now. But how do we get out of this? That's the question. For me, basically, is trying to work harder than anyone else. That was always part of it, and still is. Obviously now, at a certain point of your career, you start to have more capacity, and maybe we can go later, but at some point you also realize what is sustainable if you want a long career and what isn't. Like there's a limit on how much Formula One can be, let's say, controlling your life.
Like, what do you think you've learned that would be really helpful for somebody who may not encounter, again, elite stuff, but just looking to make goals happen in their life?
I've definitely learned that sometimes I've overdone things, like I pushed myself too hard. In terms of my mental and physical capacity, I found my limits earlier on in my career. It was only 2014, and I managed to get myself into this like overtraining syndrome. So just really, the whole body was like tired, stressed, not recovering anymore. I was training too much, eating too healthy or too little, let's say. And I found my limit. And that was pretty good eye-opener mentally for me. Like, maybe I need to have something else sometimes than F1 if I want to have a long career. Because yes, you can have great career, but a short one if you don't take care of yourself. If you're burning the candle from both ends, it's not sustainable. So that's something I've learned, to find your own limits. Like I would say in business, I'm pretty sure it's very common. People, go too deep. They don't allow themselves to, let's say, sleep enough. You want to work longer hours, but at some point there's this line that it starts to eat you up, and your performance goes actually down. So finding that limit is really important. Going through in my head, and they didn't know that I was thinking of actually, quitting and giving up, which I'm so glad that I didn't, because that's never been really an option for me in my life.
And never give up.
No, never give up. That's my motto as well. So.